The BamaInsider Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With Rivals Bama Insider Managing Editor Kyle Henderson and former Crimson Tide Sports Network broadcaster and SEC Network play-by-play voice Mick Gillespie. The BamaInsider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Bama Buggy, best price, best selection, best service. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Rounders on the Strip, Vegas-style bar with the best rooftop in Tuscaloosa. Allstate agent Andrew Knipper. You're in good hands with Allstate. Innisfree, an Alabama Irish pub tradition. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. R&R Cigar in downtown Tuscaloosa, home of the Victory Cigar.
Also brought to you by Hotel Indigo, Tuscaloosa's amazing upscale boutique lodging in downtown. The Floor Bama, world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Commercial banker Jay Weber with Service First Bank Fairhope.
And now, here are Kyle and Mick.
What do you say, everybody, and welcome to the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. The show's presented by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview Alabama at Arkansas from Razorback Stadium. On the show, we have Lance Taylor from Jocks. He's going to give us Lance's locks. We got Chris Lowe from ESPN. He's going to join us to talk about the SEC, Alabama and Florida. They're set to play next week in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. I'm Mick Gillespie, and I'm here teaming up with one of the best in the business from Bama Insider, the managing editor. Of course, that's the Alabama Rivals site. I'm talking about Kyle Henderson. We'll also have best-selling author Andrew Bone on. Number one Alabama against Arkansas. The Crimson Tide looking to improve to 10-0. Kickoff set for 11 o'clock a.m. Kyle from Razorback Stadium. What's going on, man?
What's up, Mick? I'm glad to see you at the Floor Bama again. I know we had a great time there, or at least you did last time. And, it's gracious to them for having us once again. And I think when you look at this particular game, it's really interesting. Just number one, that the game is at 11 a.m. So not too many bushwhackers for you tonight on Friday, please. We got a game tomorrow. I think going into this game, you kind of look at the storyline and Alabama clearly the favorite, 31-point favorite actually going into this game. You look at what Alabama's done over the course of the season, now 9-0 on the season, coming off a 55-17 victory over LSU. And previous to that, they beat Auburn 42-13. When you look at Arkansas, they lost 3 in a row, lost to Florida back in mid-November, 63-35. And then last week, they lost to Missouri 50-48, and they allowed nearly 700 yards of offense.
Yeah, really amazing. And you mentioned it. We're live from the Floor Bama. Orange Beach, Perdido Key, we're down on the line. This place is open, full capacity. You got music going on, 3 different stages. Really fun place to be right against the beach. And this is a world-famous beach bar, one of the best bars in the country. And tonight's show is brought to you by Screwball. We're going to have a Screwball drink later on called the Elvis. We'll also have a cold Yuengling. 6 to 8. I know, Kyle. Look.
Love it.
Win in Rome, man. I mean, we're going to do it in your honor. And I know Trey Yannity's back there. We're going to teach him a thing or two for tailgating in the future. But 6 to 8 Friday nights, you guys know you're going to catch the Bama Insider YouTube channel and this show, the Tailgate Show, 9 to 11 on Jocks 2 on Saturdays. That's 100.5 Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. You can also get the podcast, always available Friday night on Bama Insider, whether you're talking Apple, Spotify, and all those places. So anyway, let's talk about this football game. You kind of brought it up. Alabama, I mean, last time out, it feels like it was a month ago, but they absolutely drummed LSU, and it's been a fun week watching LSU take themselves out of consideration for a bowl game. I mean, come on. And then, the recruiting, how's that going to turn out? National Signing Day coming up. And now Alabama plays Arkansas. And I'm not saying it's a letdown. We're not looking past it. But what does Alabama gain from playing Arkansas this week?
I mean, I think the thing about this particular game is they have a chance to continue this streak in this quest for perfection, right? I mean, let's face it, Alabama is going for the ultimate prize, and that's to be perfect through a SEC football season. You have Arkansas, you have Florida. I know everybody probably even watching this show or listening, they want to just talk about that Florida game, but hold on. Alabama has its 10th game of the season. You have to be lasered in, and it's about one game at a time. And Nick Saban knows that, you know, these particular trap games, I mean, they could be dangerous. Now, look, I'm in the boat that Alabama is going to score at will against Arkansas, but you got to go and you got to take care of business. It's an 11 o'clock game. The temperature is going to be a little bit colder than what Alabama is accustomed to be playing to. But, I mean, let's face it, Alabama right now is a buzzsaw on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, with what they've been doing with Najee Harris, Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, and that offensive line up front, I mean, I truly feel there's no one in America that can stop this Alabama Crimson Tide football team. And then on the defensive side as well, you know, I know people are very critical of the defense. Anytime there's a completed pass, that, you know, they want Pete Golding fired. But hold on. I mean, look what they've done over the past several games. I mean, you've really seen this defense start to trend in the right direction, allowing 17 against LSU and 13 against Auburn. Now, look, this isn't the old days where it was a 7 and 3 point games. I mean, in today's game, and Nick Saban said this himself, allowing 17 points, allowing 13, that's kind of, you know, where you want to be under that 20-point threshold, because the game has just changed so much.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Alabama and Arkansas at 11 o'clock. Do you think that playing this game helps Alabama prevent players from getting COVID? Remember when they had the off week, they went home for Halloween, and all of a sudden, you know, COVID hit, not Alabama as much, but a lot of these other programs. The ACC actually canceled games that were supposed to be played by Clemson and Notre Dame, gave them the week off. And then you wonder if COVID maybe sneaks into that championship game.
Yeah, that's a great question. And we talked about this kind of before even this show, you and I did. And I think that was a great point that I think you actually brought up, because when you have the players back at the facilities, these guys are being tested every single day. The coaches can make sure and keep a watchful eye on them. And plus they can social distance and kind of stay within their bubble. Now, it's going to be hard to stay in your bubble when Alabama has the remaining games on the road. You look at this game against Arkansas on the road. You look at next week, they're in Atlanta, Georgia, playing Florida. The week after, or several weeks after, it'll be in the playoffs, wherever they should fall, and then the national championship game should things go their way. So they're going to have to remain tight in that bubble. Now, Alabama will be without a few players against Arkansas because of the COVID situation. Of course, we can't say the names, but it's kind of just something that is weekly continued to happen within all of college football. But I think for the most part, Alabama has done a fantastic job making sure that these players are safe. We all know that Nick Saban recently had COVID, and I thought it was really interesting about him speaking about the plasma treatment. And he said as soon as he's healthy, he's going to go back and kind of reciprocate that, because he said that was a really changing of the tides in the way that he felt.
Alabama and Arkansas, as you listen to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillespie. Mac and Smitty, right? Mac Jones and Devontae Smith building on this Heisman case, right? You got two of the top three contenders for the trophy. How does this game affect their chances to maybe bring home that prestigious award?
Yeah, I mean, another great question. I think it's all about, another chance for some style points. Let's face it. I mean, Mac Jones on the season, 3,100 yards with 27 touchdowns, just having a phenomenal season, only thrown 3 interceptions. His efficiency rating is through the roof, and he has a 75% completion percentage, which is just mind-blowing. And then Devontae Smith, as you mentioned, 80 receptions for 1,300 yards with 15 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns overall. Now, back in 2014, Amari Cooper had 124 receptions and he had 16 touchdowns. So that kind of gives you an idea of where Devontae Smith is playing right now. And you factor in that Alabama could play 4 more games. How many more touchdowns is he going to score? And then we can't forget about Najee Harris. I mean, he's not in the Heisman talk, but I mean, the guy has scored 20 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. He has 3,400 yards in his career in 40 total touchdowns, close to breaking records held by Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram. I think those guys are pretty good.
Last week, all of a sudden people were texting me like, hey, bad news, Nick Saban's retiring. And I'm like, no way. And I look on Twitter and I see this rumor is that Steve Sark's going to be the next head coach, right? Mm-hmm. Sarkisian. Let me get that right for you. Anyway, Sark's not going to be the next head coach, right? I mean, Nick Saban is not retiring, or is he? And why is it this time of year where it seems like these rumors pop up?
I mean, come on. It's like, I think his daughter said it best on social media. It's like this. The same conversation comes up every single time during this point. And what's next week? It's signing day. And by the way, we have tons of signing day coverage coming your way on Bama Insider next Wednesday. Alabama will be inking 22, maybe 24 prospects in one single day. But yeah, I mean, they're saying that they're trying to, play on Nick Saban's age, that he's going to retire, all this stuff. No, he's not. And I think the biggest reason why is Nick Saban already sat out a game. Remember, I mean, the great article by Chris Lowe that he wrote about Saban watching the game from home. I love the article because he's upstairs and Miss Terry's downstairs, and he's like, what the hell is she cheering about? And he's stomping on the ground and he's mad. And I think that, that one game watching it from the TV clearly is going to give him maybe, another 5 years or whatever. So as long as he has it cognitively and he's in good shape, which he is, and, he's still fired up, which he is, Saban's got a lot left.
The college football championship is next week. We're going to talk later on in the show to Chris Lowe from ESPN, but coming up, we're going to talk to Andrew Bone, because before Alabama and Florida on Wednesday, we got National Signing Day, and Alabama right now has the number 1 class committed to the Crimson Tide. We'll talk about Nick Saban in Alabama and this recruiting class with the guru himself, Andrew Bone, Mr. Author. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up. More after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove, genesisoftuscaloosa.com.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers, featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
In on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
The Floribama Beach Bar is open at full capacity with no COVID restrictions. It's time to slip on back to Orange Beach for multiple stages of live music daily, free bingo Monday through Friday, and football watching all season long on tons of TV. TVs. There's never been a better time to enjoy sunsets from the beachfront bars with a famous bushwhacker. Floribama is one of the top beach bars in the world, and under Florida guidelines has no COVID restrictions. Planning on a bachelor or bachelorette party? Then come do it on the line. Find out more at floribama.com.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
Welcome back in on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie as we talk to you live from the Floribama in Perdido Key, doing it on the line here. Right on the line. I'm talking the beach is outside. It's great. We're having a good time. It's open and going strong. Hey, guys, I want to tell you about this right here. Christmas is coming, and that's Coach Nick Saban, Kyle. You look at him right there. This year's calendar, this is the Crimson and White 2021 calendar. I can't wait to turn the page on 2020, by the way. But anyway, this year's Nick Saban, and it's paintings from the Saban era from 2007 to 2020. It's pretty cool. We got some of these to give out here at the Floribama, but you can get yours at New Life Art. Great Christmas gifts. I mean, look, you always love a good calendar with great paintings in there. And, I'm a super fan of Daniel Moore. I think he's the best. So like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Bama Insider YouTube channel. We've been killing it. Like every time I log on, like it's more subscribers. And that's because you guys are awesome. And if you're listening right now on Jocks Radio, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide to you. We're on 9 to 11 game days. So, that's what we do. But anyway, look, he's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. We bring on Andrew Bone. He's our recruiting expert. Bone, you and I hung out earlier this week. There's some recruiting battles right now going for Alabama. You look at LSU and everything going on down there. Give us an update on what's going on right now with signing day coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's an exciting time. The early signing period's upon us, and this is the final weekend before signing day. So really looking forward to kind of seeing what happens. I mean, there's several guys that are out there that Alabama's still heavily recruiting, heavily involved in, and there's not a lot of spots left. I mean, as we know, I would say there's anywhere between 3 and 4 spots remaining in this class, and there's still going to be a few guys that are going to wait it out and wait until February to make that decision, February 3rd, the first Wednesday of February. But we're going to see the majority of kids sign this upcoming week on Wednesday. And, there is a lot of, speculation as to what's going to happen. I mean, there's, some guys that are out there that Alabama has recruited for a very long time. And, as you mentioned, a lot of those guys are, also deciding between LSU and Alabama. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. There's going to be a lot of conversations that are going to happen between, not only these top recruits, but also, these top recruits and coaches, but also the top recruits and their families. They're trying to make the best decision, for their future. And, I think a lot of them are, really trying to evaluate things, especially from an LSU perspective. Things haven't been going well for LSU this year, on the football field, off the football field. And you're starting to see some of, its top players potentially leave the program. I don't think it's necessarily happened yet. I don't think we've seen anybody actually enter the transfer portal, but, we've seen star players, not play. We've seen star players, kind of, I don't want to say quit, but they've, shut things down for the season so that they can focus on the NFL draft. And now we're starting to see, freshmen start, shutting things down and potentially going to transfer. So you never know what's going to happen. And I think a lot of these recruits that are out there are really looking at this LSU situation and wondering, what's exactly going on. And I'm sure Coach Orgeron and his staff is trying to play, damage control right now and trying to make sure they bring in, a top recruiting class and telling them everything's going to be okay. But, at the same time, it's hard to avoid everything that's out there in the media. And that Other schools are probably using that against LSU right now, and we'll see if that has any effect. And I don't think we will really know anything until signing day. A lot of people ask me, well, we're a few days away from signing day. Don't you know where these kids are going to go? There's a reason why these kids decided to wait. They weren't sure what they were going to do. It's kind of easy, and I said this earlier in the week. It's easier to make a prediction on a kid, in the summer, in the spring, because if they take a visit or a school's a heavy favorite for them, and they decide, they say, all right, well, I'm going to make my commitment on April the 17th or June the 12th or whenever it may be. It's a little bit easier to make a prediction as to where the kid's going to go to school. But then when they wait it out, when they let schools recruit them all the way until the end, and they have relationships that have lasted over a year, and they don't want to tell any coach no, it's extremely difficult. And then you have stuff that you may think that LSU or another program is leading for a kid throughout the entire recruitment, but then something happens, something negative happens to the program, something comes out, that doesn't really paint a pretty picture of the school. And you just know, you don't know what you're going to do. So you have to really sit down and evaluate things and weigh every pro and con of the program. You've waited this long. There's a lot of surprises that happen on National Signing Day every single year. And I think with Alabama, they are in it with pretty much every target that's still out there for them. And some of the targets that we've talked about, guys like Mason Smith, the top player in the country from Louisiana. I think it's down between Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. I think he'll choose one of those three schools. Of course, it's, in my opinion, it's been LSU for the last several months. But everything going on down there, you just don't know exactly what he's going to do. Xavier Worthy committed to Michigan, then committed to Michigan since the summer, but visited Alabama for the Iron Bowl and really has high interest in Alabama. Will he potentially flip to the Crimson Tide on signing day? Now, there's a few other guys out there that I feel a little bit more confident they're going to end up going elsewhere. Kamar Wheaton, who's a five-star running back, number one running back in the country, always felt like he was going to end up at Oklahoma over Alabama, named Alabama and Oklahoma as his top two schools. He's going to wait it out a little bit longer, going to decide on December the 23rd, but I still think he's going to end up going to LSU. I said LSU again. We're talking so much about LSU, I keep saying LSU. Oklahoma, excuse me. And then Xavier Sorey, a linebacker from IMG Academy. I really think it's three schools: Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. But I think Georgia's been in the driver's seat for quite some time with him. So those are two guys I'm fairly confident going to end up elsewhere. So I think you got to look at maybe some of these other guys. As I mentioned, Mason Smith, Xavier Worthy. You also have Shamar Turner, who's a big defensive lineman from Texas. I still think he's probably going to end up in Texas, maybe Texas A&M, but Alabama still heavily recruiting him. Also watching Tumise Delier, five-star defensive end from the Houston area. Now that's another guy that really torn between Alabama, Florida, and Texas A&M. So it's going to be really, really interesting kind of see what happens over the course of the next few days with these guys and see what happens. Another guy that I failed to mention is Sage Ryan. We talked about him earlier this week, committed to LSU. He's a guy that Alabama continues to heavily pursue. So, with everything going on at LSU, will Sage Ryan potentially change his mind? Will Keno Cote, who's an outside linebacker that's committed to LSU, potentially change his mind? I think all of these guys are really in play for Alabama, and there's not a lot of spots left. So Alabama's not going to get every single one of them, but I do think that they're going to end up getting somebody, and I think there's a chance that they're going to get somebody that we're talking about, but that not many people think is going to end up landing in Alabama. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and as we know, on the recruiting trail, there's going to be, a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation over the course of the next, few days as to which way a kid's leaning. And I think you just got to wait it out all the way until, maybe about 24 hours before. And then you really get a good sense of, where a kid's leaning. But even then, you really don't know, because we saw, a few years ago with Rashaan Evans, a lot of people thought he was going to end up at Auburn. He ends up committing to Alabama, and even the Auburn athletic site even put out a story 5 minutes before his announcement that he had signed with Auburn and congratulating him. So there's just a lot of uncertainty right now with a lot of these top remaining targets, and I think that's what makes it fun to watch. You want to have a little bit of drama. You don't want to, okay, that kid's going here, that kid's going there. There's no reason for me to watch. There's reasons for everybody, recruiting analysts, reporters, and just fans in general, and college coaches, because I think college coaches, they don't know either. There's a lot of times where they feel pretty good about a kid, and there's a lot of times where they probably are told, hey, I'm coming to your school, but you really don't know until they sign on that dotted line.
All right, Bone, we'll be talking to you on Wednesday. We got a lot of things going on, including National Signing Day. So look at the Bama Insider YouTube channel for an update on all of that. Let me remind you guys that the Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Bama Buggies. Bama Buggies is a touchdown for anyone looking for an ATV, a Sea-Doo, motorcycle, side-by-side. Hunting season's here, and Bama Buggies has you covered. Find out for yourself at BamaBuggies.com. And also, if you like to play the odds, you need to check out my friends over at Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sportsbook. Hint, maybe, depending on what happens for Alabama, the show may be in Choctaw here in the near future. With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillespie. Again, Andrew Bone, awesome job giving us a breakdown on recruiting. When we come back, Kyle jumps back on. We're going to talk about Alabama looking to improve the 10-0 against Arkansas, 11 a.m. kickoff. Alabama heading to the SEC championship game to take on the Florida Gators in a week, but they've got Arkansas standing in the way. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
Introducing Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Now available wherever beer is sold. PG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bama Buggies. Proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Hey fam, this is Kyle Henderson with BamaInsider.com, reminding you to join Mick Gillespie and me right after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel for the Bama Insider postgame show. We'll break down the game with instant analysis, have Nick Saban's press conference, and take your calls and comments. That's the Bama Insider postgame show right after Alabama plays on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. See you there. Please join us tonight for the Bama Insider postgame show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Roll Tide, roll.
Great to have you with us, Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. You are watching on YouTube on the Bama Insider channel, or maybe you're listening on Jocks 2 Radio 100.5 Birmingham, Tuscaloosa to the Bama Insider Tailgate show. We're previewing Alabama and Arkansas, 11 o'clock kickoff, and we're doing it from the floor Bama. Open host for us. We were here last week for LSU, back again for Arkansas. They've got a lot of stuff going on here. Live music, daily, 3 stages. They've got oysters. They're fresh and available. As a matter of fact, when this show goes off, I'm going to get me some oysters. They've got bingo Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. They've got all the bushwhackers you can drink. They got TVs for watching football. Really awesome place to hang out. Find out for yourself at floorbama.com. This segment's brought to you by our friends at Yuengling Lager. The Yuenglings are flowing here at Floor Bama as well. Alabama looking to improve to 10-0 in their all-SEC schedule. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. It's a 6th-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's a part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad, and she puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. Also, you better get them while they last. The Hershey's Chocolate Porter, they're out now, but you better get them quick because they're on a limited basis. Kyle, Alabama and Arkansas, maybe it doesn't have the luster that this game had in the past. As a matter of fact, Alabama looking for 14 straight wins. But hey, look, Phil says he's drinking the Hershey's Porter right now. Well, thumbs up to you, man. But give me a reason why this game's important. I mean, I'm trying to find. It's like 32 points. I just feel like Alabama's going to truck these guys. But I know that it's important because Nick Saban told us so.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, whatever the GOAT says, we listen to. But I think in the larger spectrum, I mean, look at what's at stake. I mean, a slip up here, who knows what could happen. So I think you go into this game and you just simply take care of business. Look, Sam Pittman, I mean, he's done a really good job at Arkansas during his first year. He's a guy, if you haven't seen him speak, definitely check out his press conference because this guy doesn't, he puts it just as it is. I think he's done a really good job coming over from Georgia as offensive line coach. He said in a recent press conference that Alabama, if anyone should win the Heisman Trophy, it should be the Alabama offensive line. Now, look, Felipe Franks, our quarterback, is questionable for this weekend. I don't think it's going to matter if he plays. Remember, he's a transfer from Florida. But I think the storyline of this game is, can this offense, continue to stay healthy? That's the number one thing, right? And this defense, can we continue to see improvements from the defense? Scoring comparison-wise, I mean, just a couple weeks ago, as I said at the beginning of the show, Arkansas did play Florida. Florida put up 63 points. Arkansas put up 35. Just last week against Missouri, Arkansas lost by a score of 50-48 in a shootout in a game that Arkansas, like I said, allowed 650 yards offense. So I think Alabama is going to be able to do whatever they want. The trick is you got to stay healthy. I would assume that at some point, and I know this is rat poison, you got to get some of these younger guys in there to get them opportunities so they can build depth for later on, should they need it, come the SEC championship game or the playoffs or the championship, whatever it is. But number one thing, you got to stay healthy. You got to build up the lead. You got to just come out and continue to do what they've been doing. Alabama right now, I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. I mean, what they've been able to accomplish. They've scored over 35 points or more in 22 consecutive games. And get this is a mind-blowing stat. Nick Saban has defeated 97 straight unranked opponents, the most in college football. I mean, think about that. I mean, 97 consecutive games, and what he's done against Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas hasn't beaten him at Alabama. Alabama 31-point favorite. So even though the writing is on the wall about this game, you still got that quest for perfection. And Nick Saban will get these guys amped and ready to go for that 11 o'clock kick.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Our show is brought to you in part by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Look at this, Kyle. I got some swag for you right here. That's a shirt. This thing right here, it's a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Blinking Nose. I got your hat for you. And we're talking about Alabama and Arkansas, right? I'm at Floribama. Kyle's back at his home studio, and you're probably watching on YouTube television, the Bama Insider channel. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe you're listening on Jocks 2 Radio. Kyle, you're convincing me a little bit reasons why I need to watch this game, other than the fact that I cover the team and I got to watch the game. But the idea of seeing maybe extended Bryce Young, I like that. I've become like the biggest Jace McClellan fan. I mean, I love this guy, man, because I want to see some of him. Hand him the football. I want to see this offensive line, these guys getting into the games, they've come in, and I'm telling you, man, these guys, Nick Saban almost has to dial back the second team just not to run up the score. And I'm hoping that we see these guys.
Yeah, I mean, Jace McClellan, he's a running back. He's a freshman at Alabama who has been really remarkable in the time that we've seen him. Now, check this out. He's only played in 22 snaps this entire season, but in those 22 snaps, he's already rushed for over 150 yards with a touchdown. I mean, the guy is really something special. You look at the running backs right now, Alabama, of course, headlined by Najee Harris, who has 1,000 yards and 20 touchdowns on the season. Next, you have Brian Robinson. And I think a lot of people are wondering if Brian Robinson, who is currently a senior, will come back during the 2021 year. And people are like, what? He's a senior. He has to go. No, everybody could come back if they wanted to, because this is what they call a blanket waiver year because of COVID. So theoretically, people don't know this. Mac Jones is just a redshirt junior. Okay. So yes, I'm in the camp that he's going to the NFL, but he could, if he really wanted to. You could see Mac Jones coming back for 2 more seasons, right? Comes back next year, plays his redshirt junior year, and then plays his senior year. So we'll just have to see what happens with Mac Jones. But I'm telling you, when you start to look at the roster and start to look at next year's roster, a lot of these guys who are seniors, they could be coming back. And I know it's going to be a roster nightmare because there's only 85 scholarships. So I would assume that the NCAA somehow extends that. And then you tack on that there's going to be 23 additional signees. Most of those guys are early enrollees. You can find out more about the early enrollees back at Bama Insider. So the rich get richer. Alabama currently with the #1 signing class in the country. Tons of guys that will be signing next Wednesday.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I was talking to my buddy Darren, who works for Kentucky, and he was telling me that everybody can come back. And I'm like, everybody can come back? Yeah. But you're saying the same thing. That's insane. I mean, and maybe it'd be awesome to see this team come back and try to run it again next year. But there's going to be too many high draft picks, I'm guessing, for Alabama to do that. But, hey, that's definitely a thing to watch. Guys, I want to tell you this. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sonata, maybe an SUV like the Tucson. Tailgating does not get any better. And as we talk to you live from the Floribama here in Perdido Key, Orange Beach, they want to invite you down to hang out. They got a huge New Year's bash coming up on, obviously, New Year's Eve. The day after Christmas, they've got a 4-mile run that I'm going to partake in, so I'm looking forward to that. All kind of stuff. Check out their website at the Floribama and come on down and hang out. All right, when we come back, I mentioned that our show is brought to you in part by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. We're going to have our friend Jennifer Parnell, who was with us last week, Kyle, and actually did a pretty good job picking. Don't hold it against her. She's an Auburn fan, but she did a pretty good job picking. She's going to show up with a Screwball drink. We're going to talk about that and more. Alabama and Arkansas, 11 o'clock. We're getting your tailgate ready on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We'll see you in a minute.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove, genesisoftuscaloosa.com.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide. Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful, but switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Conifer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Conifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Great to have you with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. We talk to you live from the floor, Bama, down here in Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Alabama. I want to remind you that this place is open. It's cranked up. Big Earl and the Sex Biscuits, they were performing. You got just, a bunch of people that come in and play on 3 different live stages every single day, bingo and everything else going on. So, look, this is the place to hang out. Everyone knows that. And I'm inviting you down. Our show's brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. And in a second, we're going to do a Screwball drink. But I had a chance to catch up with our friend Reagan from R&R Cigar. So we'll let you get a little look at Reagan. He's got a lot going on. And then when we come back, we got a special drink segment. Great to be joined by Reagan from R&R Cigars. I'm Mick Gillespie with Kyle Henderson. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, whether you're watching on YouTube television or you're listening on Jocks 2 Radio. Reagan, man, I know you're at the new Cigar Mansion Post over in Northport. Man, tell us about the new business.
Yeah, the R&R Annex over in Northport. It's great. We just closed. We're open 9 to 9. Monday through Saturday here. And it's great to be in Northport, Alabama. We're really excited about this place. It's so great. It's so comfortable. We've got huge TVs. We're watching the Rams and the Patriots and Damian Harris tonight. It's a really cool place. I'm really excited about it. If you haven't been by, it's right by the Winn-Dixie. By the Sonic, between Winn-Dixie and Sonic, basically. and really convenient for people right off of Watermelon or right off McFarland. Very, very easy to get to.
Yeah. Well, people go out there, swing by, say hey to Reagan, check out the new business. I was there on the day that it opened. He'll have a bar here shortly. Next week. So, if you're in Northport, it's definitely a stop on the way home. So congratulations on that. And don't forget about the mansion in downtown.
Yeah. Well, you can't forget the mansion.
No, never forget the mansion.
Yeah,
All right,
never be able to.
Some college football, okay?
Yeah.
You got a Heisman race right now where it's Mac Jones against Kyle Trask, and all of a sudden, after a great week down in Baton Rouge or a great Saturday night in Death Valley, now Devontae Smith is in that conversation, and don't forget about Najee Harris, Alabama's running back.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think the Heisman race is in any order: 1A, 1B, 1C, Mac Jones, Najee Harris, Devontae Smith. I think those are your 1, 2, 3 guys. Little known fact, I don't know if you're aware, but Devontae Smith, you know how many yards he needs to set the NCAA record?
No, go ahead and tell us.
700.
Wow.
He's going to have 4, maybe 5 games to get there. And I mean, it's kind of crazy that, everybody talks about all of the Alabama wide receivers that have come through, and there have been some really good ones. They want to talk about Henry Ruggs versus Jalen Waddle, who's faster. They want to compare, who's the better route runner between Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley, and who's more physical, Jerry Jeudy or Julio Jones. And Smitty gets kind of left out there by a lot of people because, like when Jalen Waddle went down, you had David Pollock out there saying, "Oh, what's Alabama going to do without Jalen Waddle?" Well, they still got Devontae Smith, and 700 yards separate Devontae Smith from Inslee's record at 1999 at the University of Nevada with 2,060 receiving yards. And that's all that separates Devontae Smith from the absolute record books.
Yeah.
And and it's sad because people forget about him. You talk about Najee Harris and all that he's done this year, just a casual 20, I think it's 20. Is it 20 rushing touchdowns now? I lose track.
21 or something.
Yeah. And that's to me the biggest difference between Mac Jones and Kyle Trask is that Florida offense is so Kyle Trask centric. If you look at the stats, you have Kyle Trask has 35 passing touchdowns. Mac Jones has 28. And you look at that and you're like, oh, wow. Well, obviously Trask does more. But if you look at their attempts, Trask has like 100 more attempts than Mac Jones does. And then the running back touchdowns, you have 27 for Alabama running backs and you have 6 for Florida running backs.
Right.
So, it'd be easy for Sark to pad Mac Jones stats, but, Sark's got to spread the love to Najee Harris and all the other Alabama running backs, and I think that their offenses are very, very, Florida has a very good offense and Dan Mullen's done a great job, but there's a lot more going on at UA than Mac Jones alone.
Yeah. 20 touchdowns, by the way, you were right. 20 touchdowns for Najee Harris. So Alabama plays Arkansas. All right. Well, there you go. Reagan from R&R Cigar. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, live from the Floor Bama. Kyle, this is the part of the show. I got Jennifer Parnell on with me from Floor Bama. This is the part of the – look at me. I'm geared up again.
Oh, he's a Floor Bama ambassador.
I know. I love this place. I was just saying, when this show goes over, when we're off, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to get some oysters, grab a cold jingling. I'm going to hang out here for a while. I know, Kyle, but look, Kyle, this right here is our screwball shot right here. Jennifer, tell us what Kyle's missing tonight.
Well, it's like Christmas in a glass, but it's screwball whiskey with Blue Chair Bay banana rum, and they call it the Elvis.
This is the Elvis. Do you remember Elvis?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Blue Christmas, nothing but a hound dog.
You know what? A very underrated Christmas album is Elvis Christmas. Seriously. So if you're out there kind of looking for something to play on Pandora or on your Amazon, I'm telling you, Elvis Christmas.
I don't think it's underrated. That's a great album.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Elvis
Yeah,
out there. Yeah.
Look, I think everybody likes Elvis, right?
Yeah, how can you not?
Especially this time of year. But what's cool is like every time I come into this bar, like there's like you have like memories. Like for me, the biggest memory ever was when I come in here, I got my wife with me. We go across the street because I see Wayne Mills is here, and I'm like, look, I know Wayne. We're boys. Like she doesn't believe me. Walk in, Wayne stops playing. He's like, "What's up, dude?" And then like in the middle of his little set, that he was doing, and then I just sit there and name what song I want to hear. And he plays them all.
Oh, man. He's so missed around here. We have his picture everywhere. And people
Wayne.
Talk about him constantly. It almost feels like he's still with us all the time.
Yeah. I mean, like a tragic loss and kind of a larger than life figure. But you were telling me about another one of my favorites. I haven't met Riley Green, but I love Riley Green. You say he comes in here all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a good old Alabama boy anyway. And back in the day, before he was Riley Green, he came to play here all the time. And we have it set up. And I think it's a second home for him. So, yeah, he's here a lot.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, like last week, John was like, hey, listen, you need to come down and hang out. John's going to put Kyle up and his family up in a condo.
You'll be contacting me. I'll make sure that you get taken care of. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's such a fun place to be. I mean, like every season here is worth coming to check out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the beach is awesome in general, but I was telling you that October is my favorite month. And even right now, I mean, it's beautiful today and the weather's great. I mean, they're really getting a bad time of year to be here.
No. What do you like the best about working here? Jennifer takes care of all the marketing for Floribama. And I mean, like this place has become so big. Kyle, you haven't been here yet. It used to be like when I was 18, we'd come down here.
And he snuck in the door.
Yeah, I was way underage. I had a fake ID. No one really cared. I would go to that like front place. It was like a package store with like a little stage, and now it's like a maze.
House.
Yeah, it's like a big tree house. It's like there's cheese. I'm going through different places. Like you got the Old River, and you got the yacht club on the other side of the street, and then you got the package store, and then you got over here, which has become like this metropolis of like bars and bands and stuff.
We just trap you in here so you can't get out. But my favorite thing is the people. I mean, at the end of the day, the Floribama is just a shell. It's just a building. So the people that work here, the people who have been here for so many years, the customers that come here, that's what makes it. You talk about memories that you've had here, people like Wayne and other people. That's what makes Floribama.
Yeah. There's a song by, not Kenny Chesney. I'm going to get into that in a second, but there's a song by Jimmy Buffett that always reminded me of this place called the Bama Breeze, But then someone was like, well, I feel like this song's really about Floribama. Kyle, do you know that song, the Bama?
Yeah, and I think what you guys are also hitting on, and I think it's kind of that continuity that we all kind of missed during like 2020, kind of just being separated from one another, because I think like back to 2019, 2018, when I'm kind of on the road watching Alabama play, we're all together, right? We're all hanging out on those Fridays before the games, during the games, you have the tailgate before the show. And I think it's unfortunate that we've been disconnected in this time frame, because I think us as people, we need each other. We love to hang out. We love to watch games. We love to drink beer together. And I think like having that disconnection, it has been very unusual. So I'm glad to see it's taking place at the Floribama. So definitely, I can't wait to get down there. And if I can get some golf in, all the better.
Yeah, we've got plenty of golf here.
Tons of golf. It'll be good.
The crazy thing though is like, you get that song, the Bama Breeze, but then all of a sudden Kenny Chesney's like, no, I'm going to write a song called the Floribama. Like you guys put a thing out the other day. It's like, here's Kenny Chesney. I mean, John last week had all the Kenny Chesney gear on.
Living it up.
But like he did a concert, Kyle, like outside on the beach here for free, right?
For free. And it was 40,000 people out on the beach. We'll have to send you some pictures, but you can Google it. Floribama Jamma. It was a very fun day.
I mean, for those of you that are watching right now or you're listening, if you haven't been to Floribama, you get down to Orange Beach or Perdido Key. Like this is kind of like an institution. Kyle's invited, like he's got a place to stay, bring the family down. But I mean, like this is an institution of like fun things to do in the state. And then I've been all over the country, and I really feel like this is one of the best bars that is out there, really.
I mean, we feel that way, but I feel that a lot of people that come here feel the same. Like they make those memories, they meet the people we were talking about, and they just want to keep coming back and making more of those new memories.
Right. So tell me, before we kind of move on with the show in the second hour, we're going to invite you back on, by the way. You did a great job with your pick last week.
I went too far off.
She was texting me during the game. It's like, what did you say, 45-17? And
I think I said 40-17, but it was 55-17. You were like 17. They're not going to score that.
I'm like, no way. I mean, like, and there's Sam. He says, "What's up?" Yes, she had 17. I said, no way. I think I saw that LSU offense that played in the first half. I'm like, where have these guys been? I mean, I know that one player, like, they were so unused to scoring touchdowns. The guy dropped the football before he got to the goal line, but that counted, right? And then, like, I mean, it was still a blowout, but still.
It was, but something happens when you play a good team that you know you're going to lose. You're going to give it your all, you know?
No doubt about it. Well, you did a good job. So we're going to invite you back to help us pick games. Kyle and I are in a absolute dogfight right now for this championship belt. Kyle's never actually seen this. And I mean, we got a couple extra minutes here. Trey's going to get us to break in 2 minutes, but I'm bringing this out because
Trey can't wait to see the belt, by the way.
It's that time of year. It's that time of year where you bring this bad boy out.
Oh my goodness! Yes, please.
Oh yeah,
it's
got some good.
That's what you're playing for right now, Kyle. You want to be the man, as Ric Flair would say. You got to beat the man, and when you hold that belt right there, it's got my logos on it.
It just feels good,
doesn't it? I mean, you want to wrap that and just walk through the building.
I'm going to when we get done with this.
I put it on my shoulder, just kind of drape it. That's the way I roll. But right. Kyle, this right here, when you touch this, all of a sudden it becomes real. It becomes real. We got games to pick. Jennifer's going to be out here picking games with us as well. This belt, I've been very proud to have won this belt twice, and I feel like I'm in position to win it a third time.
All right, man. Well, we're about close to our pick segment, man. So, like you said, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Currently, the man is me because I'm leading the show.
Yeah, you are right now by one game. Well, Jennifer, before we bring you back later on, tell me what you got going on at the Floor Bama. We've got a minute, and I want to hear about, I know you got the run coming up on Christmas. You got New Year's.
Yeah, the run that you said that you're going to beat everybody. If anybody beats you, you were going to buy them free bushwhackers for a year?
For maybe one bushwhacker.
Yeah, we have Santa drop this weekend. So Santa parachutes in tomorrow. And then we go into a Christmas potluck. So on Christmas Day, we do free potluck food for everybody. And then the day after Christmas is the Make It to the Line run. And then New Year's Eve, we have a big party.
Hey, you can't beat the Floor Bama, and we really appreciate the being part of this for the last 2 weeks, and I know we're going to do this in the future as well. Bama takes on Arkansas as we get you set for kickoff. The Tide rolled LSU last week 55-17. Arkansas lost to Missouri 50-48. We talk Alabama and the SEC with ESPN's own Chris Lowe when we come back the second hour after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager, a medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special purchase 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first served while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful. But switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Kniffer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Kniffer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availabilities.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The lookout bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa. Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're doing it live on the line here with Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie from the floor of Bama, Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Alabama. The Crimson Tide take on Arkansas, 11 o'clock kickoff. Alabama looking to improve to 10-0. They could be the first team ever to go 11-0 in the SEC. They win this and they beat Florida. So that's the next two games. Next week, we will be in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We'll be at the Old Forge Distillery. It's going to be a lot of fun right there at Patriots Park. For all of you guys that go up there for the holidays, maybe you go up there during the summer and hang out, Cade Cove, Dollywood, Gatlinburg. We're going to be in Pigeon Forge for our show. It'll be 6 to 8 Central Time, 7 to 9 Eastern Time, and then that's Friday. You'll be able to hear it 9 to 11 on Jocks Radio on Saturday. We're breaking down the SEC, but before we get there, let me tell you that we can't thank Yuengling Lager enough for being the sponsor of our show. Yuengling Lager is America's oldest brewery. Alabama takes on Arkansas at Razorback Stadium at 11 a.m. with Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Had a chance to talk with Chris Lowe. Chris Lowe is from East Tennessee, so he knows all about Sevierville. They've got 4 self-guided fall tours right now on the back roads that highlight historical points of interest and beautiful views. You can find maps, videos, and more plans at visitsevierville.com/fall. You are naturally social distance when you're out there. You got Sevierville Winterfest, which I'm going to see next week. That began on November 13th. It continues through February 22nd. There are millions of lights along the parkway in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. That's all that area there in East Tennessee going into the Smoky Mountains. You can also check out Winterfest attractions like Shadrick's Christmas Wonderland. That's going until January 3rd. It's a 1.5 miles of LED lights, Christmas style. Also, Wilderness at the Smokies. They're bringing back the outdoor skate rink. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get there as we hang out at Floor Bama here. And our show's brought to you by Yuengling. Look, Chris Lowe is the best in the business. When you want to know something about Nick Saban, he always seems to have that
that scoop. And here we had a chance to talk to Chris Lowe about Nick Saban and Alabama in our interview right here. Great to have Chris Lowe from ESPN join us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Chris, how's it going, man?
Great. It's good to be with you, Mick.
So much to talk about. Alabama with a big win over LSU, 55-17, and it just seemed like that win sent shockwaves through Baton Rouge. I mean, just a resounding victory.
You know, I wasn't surprised, though. I mean, LSU is so depleted, and it's been such a bad year for them, and Alabama's just been rolling. I mean, that offense is just so explosive, and you know, you just pick your poison. And the thing I like so much about Bama is, yeah, they're explosive. They can throw the football down the field, and Mac Jones has had a great year, and I think Devontae Smith's the best player in college football. But they still can beat you up front with Najee Harris and that run game. And it's if you're a defense, you know, what do you do? I mean, how do you game plan to go up against that offense? And I just had a feeling with the way it all went down last year. And let's be honest, the video had Ogeron, what he said after the game, and the fact that game, you know, that LSU comes to Tuscaloosa and beats Alabama, I would have been shocked if that game wouldn't have been a blowout.
Yeah, well, 55-17. I mean, it's certainly a blowout. Alabama set to play Florida in the SEC title game. You know, I hate to overlook Arkansas, but, you know, Alabama's a 30-some point favorite. Florida, to me, seems like they have, if they play a good game, they're going to have to play probably their best game of the year, close to it. But I think they have the players that they could give Alabama a lot of trouble. What do you think?
Well, they can score. And, you know, to beat Bama, we've seen you're going to have to score a lot of points and be capable of not only scoring, but hitting them with some big plays, some explosive plays, and not necessarily having to drive the football 70 yards. I don't think Bama's as good defensively as they have been in the past, but they have gotten better over the last month or so. They seem to be playing their best football on that side of the ball. So if you're going to beat them, you know, you're going to have to strike quickly. You're going to have to be able to score. And I think you're going to have to turn the football over. I mean, turn Bama over. I don't think you're just going to be able to continue to get off the field defensively. You're going to have to be able to make some plays on defense and have some short fields and not let Mac Jones and that Bama offense on the field, because the more possessions they have, I just, you know, you're not going to have a chance against these guys. I don't care who you are. Unless they turn the ball over, unless you make some plays in special teams and keep the ball out of Mac Jones's hands and get some short fields and score some points, you know, unconventional, Mick, you know, whether it's on special teams, whether it's blocking a field goal, whether it's setting up some scores for your offense by turning the football over defensively. I just think anybody out there is going to have a hard time beating Bama.
With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillespie. We're talking with Chris Lowe from ESPN. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Chris, Nick Saban missed the Iron Bowl because of COVID, right? He survived it back on the sideline in Baton Rouge for LSU. It was interesting that there were some rumors that came out from people that said, you know, that Nick Saban was going to retire and that Stark would be the next head coach. Obviously, it's that time of year with recruiting. But it just seems like the way that things are going right now, I wouldn't expect to see Coach Saban retire. You know him as well as anyone. What do you think?
You know, I honestly didn't hear that. Rumors before, once he tested positive, there were some rumors out there that he might go ahead and retire and let Sark take over.
People put that out. His daughter was quick to say they come out every year, these rumors. And I kind of was glad that she said that. I mean, you know, signing day's next week. So you know, that could be part of it. But at the same time, you know, it just seems like this guy is rejuvenated again.
You mean there's some shenanigans going on in recruiting in the SEC? Come on, that never happens, Mick.
Right. And another recruiting class too.
You know, I'll be honest. I got just the opposite feeling talking to Nick. I actually talked to Nick. I guess it was the day or a couple days before. Actually, it was the day after the game. I talked to him for a story I did on just what it was like for him to be away from the team and watching it on TV and how excruciating that was for him. And my sense in talking to him, and really some things he said to me suggesting it, and people close to him, i.e. Jeff Allen, who's the only staff member there, and on the football side, who's been with him every step of the way, I think it only reinforced that the guy wants to keep coaching. In Nick's world, as he's told me, what's he going to do if he's not coaching football? Now, we never can see into the future. None of us has a crystal ball. You know, if his health were to decline, if he would have some kind of bout health-wise or administratively, things, there was an upheaval, or even in college football, you know, if things went in a direction that as Nick approaches 70 that he didn't like, well, I think at that point all bets are off. But I know this, his love for coaching ball and being out on the practice field and doing all the things that, you know, you do is the things that, beyond, quite honestly, some people look at as a grind. You know, he looks at it as that's his sanctuary, you know, recruiting and practicing and watching tape and being around the players in the locker room, having staff meetings. Those are the things he loves to do. So I think not having a chance to have done that week, and certainly on game day, in my conversations with him, I think that only reinforces he wants to coach that much longer. And again, we don't know what else is going to be out there. But I think if anything, that whole experience just in his mind underscored that he wants to keep coaching football.
Chris, there's been a lot of weird stuff as far as scheduling goes to set teams up for the college football playoff. First off, the ACC canceled games for Notre Dame and Clemson. That sets them up for a championship game in the ACC next week. And then the Big Ten changed the rules that they set up at the beginning of the year to allow Ohio State to miss these two games that really were out of their control, but that were canceled, and still get into the Big Ten championship game with 5 wins. Your thoughts on that?
You know, I guess my first thought would be, I'm not surprised at anything that happened this year. And I probably wouldn't have been going into the season because I knew how challenging it was going to be to play football. And I knew every league and every part of the country was going to be a little bit different. You know, my pet phrase, Mick, all year has been, even back in September when we were talking about whether we were going to have a season, is it's just not going to be a cookie cutter season.
Right.
It wasn't going to be a cookie cutter return. Every league, every group of presidents, every football coach, even regions of the country. And we've seen that all year long. We're going to be different. Some of it was just going to be luck of the draw. You know, what teams got it earlier? You know, you've seen some teams that got a lot of the, you know, sort of ran through teams that the virus did back in, say, July and August. And those teams have had better luck in not having outbreaks during the season. You know, what's killed teams is a contact tracing element of this is you might have 3 guys that are positive, and then you do the contact tracing and it knocks out 15 guys. And that's difficult to deal with. It's been such a grind, the year has, for coaches, mostly for the players, and the sacrifice they've had to make to, you know, think about it. Most of these guys haven't seen family members, girlfriends, you know, grandmothers, granddads that they're used to seeing because they haven't been able to go home because it's really sort of been a bubble for most of these schools to be able to make a football season happen. So I'm not surprised. And, you know, the fact that Ohio State is unbeaten and I think most of the games that have been canceled haven't been because of what's been going on within their program. It's been other programs, things out of their control. And I think if you watch them play, and I've watched them play, and the playoff is so subjective anyway. There's no hard and fast rules about who's going to be in or who can't be in, or, you know, we keep hearing the eye test. I think Ohio State is probably one of the best 4 teams right now. Now, they've only played 5 games, and a lot of teams have played 10 games. And it's the playoff is subjective. As long as we have 4 teams, it's going to be that way. And you go back over the years when teams have gotten in, even going back to the BCS, you know, even Alabama got in one year when they didn't win their side of the division. You know, they didn't win their division; they got in. This year is so different and so unique that I think it's hard to complain. It's hard to point the finger. And, you know, the Big Ten, I don't think from the outset handled this well. I mean, they weren't going to play, then they did play. And now they changed the rules that was their rule. Keep in mind that you had to play 6 games to be eligible. They come back and change the rule because, listen, they want a team in the playoff. That's the bottom line. Their best chance to get a team in the playoff was Ohio State. And I think that's a big reason why they voted the way they did. But it's, you mentioned Notre Dame and Clemson. You're right. They're not playing this week. Clemson, I'd say Clemson probably with what went down with Florida State, I felt like maybe even if they did try to play that game, it might get canceled again. I think the mere fact that we're to this point and we're still playing football and it looks like, Mick, we're going to have a playoff, I think that's the blessing. That if you're a football junkie and you really love college football, the fact that we've made it through to this point and all the sacrifices have been made, mostly by the players, but by coaches and support staff. Think about the equipment managers and the trainers and the people that we don't talk about a lot. Sports information directors, all those people that are sort of behind the scenes that have hung in there and been out there day in and day out to try to make a season happen. I think those are the people we salute. First, the players, first and foremost, but all the other people that have helped us get to this point where we're going to have a chance to have a playoff and crown a national champion. Whether it has an asterisk beside it or not, there's going to be a national champion. Right? I think if we went back to September and the two of us had conversations, how realistic is it that we're going to have a season? Well, you know what? A lot of people have made a lot of sacrifices and a really deep, enduring commitment to have football this year.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet, man. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, Chris Lowe, I not only is he one of the greats, Kyle, in covering SEC football, he's someone I like a lot. I just think he's a great human. I think he's a great person. And guys, I invited him back. I said, hey, Florida, come back. College football playoff, come back. Anytime you want to come back, man, come back.
I mean, anytime you get to read, an article by Chris Lowe, and I keep pointing back to the article that he wrote about Saban missing the game. And I think that, Saban clearly trusts Chris Lowe, and he's worked for that relationship throughout the years. Clearly, he's earned that respect and that trust. But, so I love having him on. Great addition to the show. And, what he's saying is, certainly has some power behind it because, he talks to the GOAT himself.
Yep, no doubt about it. Pearl River Resort and Timeout Sports Lounge in Philadelphia gives you a great place to play the odds. Coming up, let me pull this out again, Kyle. I just want you to see this. Coming up, next we make our picks, talk to Leonard's Loser. We got LT from Jocks Roundtable, all that coming up, and this championship belt's on the line. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Kyle Henderson and Mick Gillespie continues after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When it comes to protecting all your stuff, wouldn't it be great to have one place that protects it all? Here's some good news. Tuscaloosa and Northport Allstate agent Andrew Conifer is the only insurance agent you need to help keep tabs on protection for all your stuff. Everything from your home, car, boat, to your motorcycle, RV, snowmobile, and even ATV. Stop by Allstate agent Andrew Conifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard or give Andrew a call at 205-722-9201. Are you in good hands?
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Introducing Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Now available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Hey fam, this is Kyle Henderson with BamaInsider.com, reminding you to join Mick Gillespie and me right after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel for the Bama Insider postgame show. We'll break down the game with instant analysis, have Nick Saban's press conference, and take your calls and comments. That's the Bama Insider postgame show right after Alabama plays on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. See you there. Please join us tonight for the Bama Insider postgame show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Roll Tide, roll.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. If you're watching on YouTube right now, on YouTube TV, on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, you've got a lot of friends with you. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Our channel has just been doing nothing but going straight up to the top, and it's because of you guys, and we appreciate all of you. If you're listening on the radio right now, on Jocks 2 in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, hey, don't forget, Alabama plays Arkansas at 11 o'clock. We'll be back next week when the Crimson Tide takes on the Florida Gators for the SEC championship game. We are at the Floribama right now. Perdido Key, Orange Beach, doing it on the line. I mean, there's not a better place in the world to hang out. We're amongst friends. We got oysters. We got live music. We got bushwhackers, although I will say this, and you can hear you say the word bushwhackers, people go crazy. Now is the time in the show where you can probably start introducing bushwhackers. Don't do it too early. You got to pace yourself here. And maybe put a little screwball floater on top of there if you want a peanut butter one. And our show's brought to you by Yingling Lager. They got cans of Yingling anywhere in the building and anywhere you're watching right now. Also, check out my football from Andrew Conifer, Allstate in Northport, Tuscaloosa. I'm telling you, this guy will take care of you. He's the best insurance agent you can find. 205-722-9201. And if you go by there and get an insurance policy, he's going to give you a free football. We talked to Lance Taylor. It's time to pick. We got the championship belt. Our friend Jennifer is going to be up here picking with us. But first, let's check in with Lance Taylor from Jocks in Birmingham, the Jocks Roundtable, lanceslock.com. He's going to help us with our picks. Then we're going to talk about those picks and make them right here on the show. It's great to have Lance Taylor on. You know him from his work on Jocks Roundtable and Lance's Lock. And as we talk about college football on our games, part of our Pick'em segment, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. It's great to bring LT on. How's it going, man?
Mick, it's good, man. I cannot believe this. It's been such a weird season. You and I have talked about this off the air, but I can't believe that we're coming to a close of the regular season. And, you know, in a normal season, we would already be past, championship weekend, but we've got one full college slate left. And so looking forward to it, but man, it's gone fast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Alabama's closing in on playing 10 regular season games like the schedule said. So that's exciting. We're going to talk about Bama and Arkansas, but we got you on here to kind of give us a Sharps view on all these games that are going on. And let's start with Georgia at Missouri. Missouri, one of the big surprises in the Southeastern Conference. They're at home. They're getting 13.5 points. They've got a winning record. I can't believe that this team's won 5 games in an only SEC conference schedule. And honestly, I look at this game, and to me, I feel like they got a chance.
Oh, I do too, man. I like this Missouri team a lot. I was on Arkansas last weekend, Mick, and I love the fact that Sam Pittman went for 2 to make sure we didn't go to overtime. And, They end up hitting. Mevis hits that field goal to win the game for Missouri, but they win by 2. They don't get the cover. I get the cover with Arkansas plus the 3. But I've been blown away. And I said going into that game, whoever wins that game should be your SEC Coach of the Year. I mean, Saban's never going to get it because he's playing for national championships every other year. So he's kind of a victim of his own success. The only other guy that would be in the mix would be Dan Mullen. But I just think before the season, and you mentioned it, a full 10 SEC game schedule, my expectation for Arkansas was 0 wins. For Missouri with Eli Drinkwitz and now starting a freshman quarterback, I would have thought 1 or 2 wins. And now there's a chance, man, that they go 6-4. It's insane. And they're able to run the football. Their defense outside of last week against Arkansas has been playing much better. And you go back to this missionary football, even with JT Daniels at quarterback for Todd Monken and Kirby Smart, Georgia just hasn't blown me away. I think it's too many points. I know Georgia's won 6 straight against Missouri. But again, this Missouri team, man, with Larry Roundtree running the football, they're on a 3-game win streak. They got a lot of confidence, and I think they'll hang with them.
When they kind of played Alabama tight score-wise at the beginning of the season, I said, these guys are just one of those teams. They're going to try to keep the score close. But you know what? I got to give them a lot of credit. I agree, man. 13.5, you're at home. All right, so UNC, they got Mac Brown. They've been ranked. They're playing Miami. They're at Miami. Miami's a 3-point favorite. To me, the ACC's tough to handicap. How do you have this one?
Well, you look at this is the 24th all-time meeting between North Carolina and Miami. And interesting point here, this is the first time both teams have been ranked coming into this matchup. And this North Carolina offense really good. Notre Dame found a way to slow them down after that first quarter. They're 5th in the FBS, averaging almost 535 yards per game. Miami's won 5 straight games since that loss to Clemson. And to me, more was the outlier. I think you got 2 really good quarterbacks in De'Aaron King and Sam Howell going head-to-head here. But I've just got a feeling that Miami's the play here. I think they've got more athletes. I think it's 2 really good teams, but I like Miami in this spot.
Shout out to John Laser. He's my buddy, the voice of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia at Virginia Tech, 2.5-point Hokies at home. They lost to Virginia last year. So they're giving up the 2.5. It was like the first time they lost to Virginia in years. And I look at this, LT, and I'm thinking, I'm taking the Hokies all day in 2.5 points.
Well, Mick, I might have to go against you here. You said it's been forever, man. Virginia, that was the first time they had beaten the Hokies since 2003. It's 2 teams going in different directions. And Bronco Mendenhall, I never understood why he went from BYU to Virginia. He's done a pretty good job with that program, though. And Justin Fuente seems to be on a hot seat. I mean, they're looking to avoid their first 5-game losing streak since 1992. They're 3-7 against the number this year. It's almost like Virginia Tech's tapped out, and Brennan Armstrong's playing well for Bronco Mendenhall at quarterback. They're 7-2 against the number. I think I'm playing Virginia in this spot.
Wow, there you go. Well, that would be if they could figure out a way to win it, and 2.5 points to be 2 straight wins. Bama at Arkansas. The Crimson Tide are on a roll. I mean, they absolutely dismantled LSU last week, embarrassed Ed Orgeron, a little bit of payback for all the talking that went on last year. So now they play Arkansas. They're looking ahead to Florida. They're a 32-point favorite. How do you got this one?
Yeah, you're right. Looking ahead to Florida, and 2 interesting points here, and I don't know how you feel about this, Mick. Now, Saban's 13-0 all-time versus Arkansas at Alabama. They've scored 40-plus in their last 4 meetings. If Alabama wanted to cover this game, we know with this offense they could cover it. They've got 6 straight covers. That's the longest cover streak Nick Saban's had at Alabama. Arkansas coming off of 66 yards in that loss to Missouri. Look at it like this. So do you want Mac Jones to win a Heisman Trophy? If so, you got to play him into the second half. You got to put up some pretty big numbers. I don't think Nick Saban's really worried about that. I think he's more worried about playing Florida completely healthy. Don't risk certain guys in the second half, maybe getting a targeting and having to sit out a half against Florida. I think they'll play it close to the vest. I could see Alabama be up 35-7 at half and then, still win the game by 28. Arkansas is going to scratch and claw for 4 quarters. I think it's too many points. I'm playing the Hogs in this situation.
LT, tell us about Lance's lock.
One thing I did not tell you about off the air, Mick, college basketball has started. And as we talk tonight, my record in college basketball is 26-6.
Whoa.
So, yeah, we're an 82% clip to start the season, so we're crushing that. Obviously, it's been a great year in the NFL and college football. Jump on board. It's only $90 a month. Great stocking stuffer for the gambler in your life. Again, if you're heading to Pearl River, you're heading to the sports book there, man, jump on board. Again, we give you everything. $90 will get you every single play from the NFL, college football sides and totals, all of college basketball. The NBA is going to tip off on December 22nd. We will have that as well. It's $3 a day, $90, best value in sports, lanceslock.com.
Thanks, Lance.
See you, Mac.
That's Lance Taylor from Jocks in Birmingham, lanceslock.com. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Jennifer Parnell joins us. We got look at this. We got the Screwball girls with us. They got the Christmas hats on. Kyle, they got a tray of Screwball drinks that we're gonna do some shots with our friends here as we pick games. And she's got the championship belt. Look at the T-shirts. This is what we do at the Floor Bama.
It's a good vibe.
This is Perdido Key at its best right here. Okay, Kyle? You good with that?
Yeah,
no. You're 22. You're old enough. I mean,
yeah. No.
I know, barely. But for Trey and the Christmas holiday, before we get into picking these games, Trey, we're all going to do a shot. Can you guys do one too? Here, you can't, but you can give us one. These are small ones, so we'll probably do a couple. Let's just go ahead and tip these up. Our friends in the background, let's pick some games. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. This is how we do it, okay, guys?
Cheers.
To Jennifer. Cheers. Roll Tide. All right, guys, let's pick Kyle. Kyle's got that look on his face. Like he wants
It does feel good.
I know. It's a real belt that gets heavy. All right, Georgia's number 9. Missouri, surprisingly, is number 25. It's a 13-point spread. Kyle, I'm going to let you go first Trey, tell us the standings real quick because I know Kyle's ahead by a game.
Yeah, let's update it. This is intense, guys. It's going to come down to the very last week, I guess. Are we doing picks next week for SEC title, or is this we got another week. So there's still some time if things don't go right this week. But Kyle is up 19 wins and 7 losses now. Mick, you're at 18-8. I went ahead and eliminated myself. I had 8 wins. It wasn't close. I didn't pick last week, so I'm out. We'll do this for consolation this week, but just a 1-game separation right now. Some good games on the slate this week, too. What do you got, Kyle? Georgia, Missouri.
Okay, well, first of all, I mean, did you guys see the troll on social media with Georgia talking about they're getting a barbershop? I think they were talking about like Xavier Story, but the long story short is they copy every single thing that Alabama does. So I don't really know if they're getting a barbershop or not. So we'll kind of keep you abreast on that. That's why I have this graphic. And as you look at Kirby Smart's hair, it looks like he actually needs to go to the barber.
Yeah.
So just kind of added that for an extra kind of feel for this week's picks. When I look at this particular game, look, Missouri is a team that Eli Drinkwitz is he's been doing a fantastic job, just as Lance said. I think when you look at this game overall, Georgia just doesn't have the offense. They kind of have the old Alabama offense that they've had in the past, where you don't score a lot of points and you have a good defense. They're kind of stuck in the past. I think Missouri will keep this close. I see Georgia winning the game, maybe 10 points, but 13 is too many for me. So, I'm definitely taking the Missouri Tigers in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there too. Georgia's offense has looked just stagnant at times. You put pressure on the quarterback, whether that's Bennett or JT Daniels tomorrow, whoever it may be. They've struggled. Missouri has been such a good surprise this year. I think 13 is just too many. I think Georgia could win this game. But give me Missouri with the points at plus 13 there.
Let me tell you something, Kyle. There was a guy named Macho Man, Randy Savage. He used to be he had like his assistant Elizabeth, right? This is like holding the belt right here. You just gave me a game. You just gave me one. We're tied. I'm taking Georgia. I don't care about the 13 points. Missouri stinks. Georgia's going to go in there. They're not the 25th ranked team in the country. I know they are technically. Georgia's going to go in there, and they're going to put a big dog print right on their back, and that's going to tie us up. What do you think? I'm
going Georgia. I just feel good about them. I think they're going to win.
That's right. So we're going Georgia over here. That ties things up. All right. UNC, even though I put USC, that's on me. UNC at Miami. That's Mac Brown against the Miami machine, the Hurricanes. What do you think?
Miami.
Miami?
I'm going Miami.
All right. Look, I mean, she knows what she's talking about, and I'm going with her too. Like, I like Mac Brown. He was at Texas. He was at, UNC. Now he's back at UNC. Miami's going to win. They're ranked 9th or 10th, depending on what poll you're talking about, Kyle. And Kyle, I know you feel like you got a lot of momentum right now, but don't bet against the Hurricanes.
Look, you know me, I'm such a perfectionist. I'm going and trying to edit that graphic like live on air because like little things like that will just like eat me up. Tobias, what's up, man, with the super chat? Thank you so much.
And that's my
man.
fault, Tobias. That is my fault. I sent that over there.
Tobias has been, thank you, man. You're taking care of us. Okay, when I look at this particular matchup, look, I think North Carolina is a quality team. They played Notre Dame very well a couple weeks ago. I don't really believe in Miami, although I would love to be in Miami at this current time of the year. The championship games down there, I had a great time when I was down there a couple years ago. But in this matchup, look, Mac Brown and the quarterback, they do a great job. I like North Carolina in this matchup, and I'm going to fix that graphic in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, man, this is another tough one. Sticking in the ACC a little bit today. You guys got Miami. I was sold on North Carolina before we started. Jen, though, is apparently on fire. She gave LSU 17 last week. Probably should have just had my spot for the season. I think I'm going to go with the Tar Heels, though. Miami just hasn't proved it to me. Kings look good. The defenses look good at times, but they're so inconsistent. And North Carolina needs that statement win. Give me the Tar Heels. We're dueling it back and forth here.
You don't sound very confident. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, talking to you live from Floribama, Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Alabama. He's Kyle Henderson, Trey Yannity. I'm Mick Gillespie, Jennifer Parnell with us tonight. We appreciate all of you guys being here. Alabama takes on Arkansas at 11 o'clock. This is our weekly pick segment. And Virginia is at Virginia Tech. Jennifer, I'm so torn on this game. Bronco Mendenhall has done a nice job with Virginia. Virginia Tech's in upheaval right now. They're in a losing streak. They've only lost once to Virginia. That was last year. And I'm going to say like 15 years. I mean, it hasn't happened a lot, but they're 2.5-point favorites. It's been a very disappointing year. There's a lot of talking going on in Hokie land. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going Virginia Tech. I feel like I said earlier, when you had a lot of bad stuff happen and then you think that it could be really tough, like you kind of pull something out. So I think that they'll be able to win.
She's exactly right, Kyle and Trey. When things are going bad, sometimes you got to what they call circle the wagons. You do the wagons in a circle, and then you pull everyone together out on the prairie somewhere with the shotguns and everything else. Like, I think the Hokies are going to figure out a way to beat Virginia. I know that there's a lot of problems with Virginia Tech right now, but I just think they're going to figure out a way. Kyle?
Okay, when I look at this game, I love these late season rivalry games. Glad to see it going on. Blacksburg, Virginia, one of the best come outs, excuse me, one of the best walkouts in all of college football. They come out to Enter Sandman. Have you guys seen that? It's unbelievable. If you haven't, go check it out on YouTube or whatever. I think in this particular game, it's a rivalry game. I think Virginia Tech, I think it'll be close. I think Virginia Tech will somehow win. So I guess roll Hokies. Is that fair? Is that
roll
safe
Hokies?
to say?
It doesn't flow quite as well as the roll Tide. No, I'm with you there. I think Virginia Tech rolls in this game. This is an intense rivalry, though. I mean, this is big for the state. People really care about this one, even though it's a couple ACC schools that have had success at times. But this is definitely an intense game every year. It's going to be a good one. Couple of gritty teams, but I think Virginia Tech responds. They played Clemson last week. That was a challenge for them. I think they learned some things, and playing this one at home, even without the full capacity, I think the Sandman gets them going. I got BT -2.5 on that one.
All right, it's time for our lock of the week, and look, I'll go first. Maryland hasn't played a lot of football this year because of COVID. I mean, they've played 4 games. They've won 2 of them. One was a spanking of Penn State, which they haven't done a lot. They play Rutgers tomorrow, right? 11 a.m. We'll be up for it. I mean, and for a lot of people that are listening on the radio, they're going, tomorrow, that's today. It is today, as we talk to you from Floribama, right? Maryland's a 6.5-point favorite. I think they're going to roll with Talia Tagovailoa. He should be at Alabama. I loved him when he was at Thompson High School. They won the Alabama 7A high school championship, Kyle. His brother is the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, if you didn't know that. And I think he's going to figure out a way to get this thing done, man. I think he's going to do it. I think Maryland's going to win 3 games because the season's over after this week in the Big Ten. I'm going to take Maryland, and I'm going to give up the 6.5 points. What do you got, Jen?
I was going to say Maryland, and I didn't know anything about that game, so I felt good about my pick after you gave all the good
That's
stuff.
what we do
sticking
over
with
here.
it.
Just stick with it. All right, let's go with Trey and then Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Pac-12 for this one. Colorado, Utah. Utah looked good last week. I'm sorry if I'm stealing yours, Kyle.
Oh, man.
But Colorado is at +1 in this game. They're 21st in the country. They're playing some really good football right now. I would be shocked if they lost this game. 1 point, it's a pick 'em, but I'm just going to take Colorado straight up over Utah.
All right, I'm also going out west for this one. I know Tobias is going to like this one because he's up in Fresno. Fresno is taking on New Mexico, the New Mexico Lobos. Yes, New Mexico is a part of this great country. It's where I'm from, by the way. That's why I had to say that. Look, New Mexico just won their first game. They're starting a quarterback from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Fresno's favored by 9 points. I think Fresno is going to win by a lot more than that. So my lock of the week is taking Fresno. But I also always like to talk about Alabama covering the spread against Arkansas. And I know 31 points is a ton, but look, this offense is a complete buzzsaw. I think these guys are locked in. I think they're laser focused. So put me in for a double lock of the week. I'll take Bama covering by 31 against Arkansas. I know it's a big one, but hey, this team is a buzzsaw right now.
Well, I mean, look, hold that. We're going to talk Bama and Arkansas coming up here, Kyle. Don't shoot all your bullets. Let me tell you guys that the SEC championship game for us will be from Old Forge Distillery next week in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Also, we've had a great time tonight hanging out at the Floor Bama. 3 music stages daily. You got bingo from 1 to 4 every day, right? It's open from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. So that's like a lot of hours.
It's like all day,
all night, folks. Bushwhackers. I think I need one now after that. Do you need a bushwhacker?
You ask, can you shower seat?
We're going to get bushwhackers. We got tons of TVs for football watching. Check it out at floorbama.com. Jennifer, anything else? I mean, just tell us like what's going on here. You got like 30 seconds.
Well, we went over all the events. So basically what you said,
again.
We're open 365 days a year. So come see us, live music every single day. And for all of our events, you can go to floorbama.com and check them out.
All right. Well, thanks, Jennifer. We're going to talk number 1, Alabama against Arkansas. When we come back, Kyle and I are going to break it down. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special purchase, 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first serve while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hartgrove.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful. But switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Kniffer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Kniffer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie talking to you live from the Floor Bama here in Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Alabama. Alabama takes on Arkansas. Kyle, we got to talk about this matchup before we really make our predictions, although I know what you're going to say. You're going to take Alabama in the points, but quickly, just kind of break this thing down.
Yeah, when I look at these two teams, I mean, Arkansas has lost 3 in a row. Last week, they lost to Missouri 50-48. Alabama coming off that giant victory over LSU, winning 55-17. The way that Alabama is playing has obviously been phenomenal. They just released a social media video, and they just said trying to get to 1-0. And I think that is just Alabama, right? These guys aren't focused on the SEC championship like the rest of us are, right? These guys know what's at stake. You can't let this be a late season trap game. I think the number one thing that needs to happen in this game is that Alabama needs to get up quickly. I think the offense needs to come out full throttle and continue to do what they've done all season, right? Get the ball out to Najee Harris. Mac Jones continue to be highly efficient. And that's one of the things that has really made Alabama so successful on the offensive side of the ball is the balance. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, this defense is young, believe it or not. I mean, Christian Harris, he's only a sophomore on this team, but he leads the entire team in tackles. You also have Jordan Battle, who's also a sophomore. So a lot of these younger guys really stepping up, and you're starting to see the defense really dial in. And I know they allowed 17 points, but look, the defense is improving. I know people don't like to hear, there's got to be something to complain about, but look, the defense is playing really well at this point of the season.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Bama Buggies. Bama Buggies is a touchdown for anyone looking for an ATV, a Sea-Doo, motorcycle, or side-by-side. Hunting season is here, and Bama Buggies has you covered. Find out for yourself at BamaBuggies.com. Alabama looking for 14 straight over Arkansas. There's been some really good matchups between Alabama and Arkansas in the past. This year, though, Alabama's a 32-point-plus favorite. We're going to talk about that and give our game predictions when we come back. Alabama and Arkansas, 11 o'clock. That's a kickoff time as the Tide looks to make it 10-0. We turn and polish up the show right after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special purchase, 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first served while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the BamaInsider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of the nation's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love and trust. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. Don't wait, the best seats in the house on sale now at Bama Buggies, 2502 Skyland Boulevard East.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The lookout bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Final segment of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show as we talk to you live from the Floribama here in Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Alabama, hanging out. We got bushwhackers. We got live music. We got beach, sand, all that stuff. And we got college football, Alabama and Arkansas at 11 o'clock. The Crimson Tide trying to go 10-0. They are numero uno, Kyle. Numero uno in college football. Feeling pretty good about this Crimson Tide team. 32-point favorites at Arkansas today.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about the success of this Alabama team throughout the course of the season. Let's just highlight Mac Jones for a second and look what he's done in the last couple games against LSU. 385 yards with 4 touchdowns before that against Auburn in the Iron Bowl, for 300 yards with 5 touchdowns, which tied a Iron Bowl record, which was in touchdown passes, which was set by Tua Tagovailoa. He's just had such an incredible year. I mean, 3,100 yards overall, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's just been sacked just 8 times, and his overall efficiency is 210.82, which I believe leads the entire country. So it all stems from the quarterback play. But as we've talked about before, and as Sam Pittman, the Arkansas football coach, said, you know, this offensive line, what Alabama does is really fantastic. I mean, I think that we should all take a minute to appreciate Landon Dickerson, what he's been able to do for Alabama. Now, Landon Dickerson is Alabama's starting center. You look at the past, they've had Bradley Bozeman, they've had Ross Pierce-Baker, but none of those guys has really been what Landon Dickerson is to this team. Remember, he's a grad transfer from Florida State. He was injury-plagued in Tallahassee. And since he's arrived in Alabama, he's really been one of the top overall offensive linemen in the entire country. In fact, he graded out as a 99 and he's up for some really big awards at the end of the season. So, I think we all need to really step back and appreciate this offensive line and kind of what they're doing. Of course, there's a lot of components to this, but the defense, I'm telling you, we don't talk enough about the defense and kind of their late season play and the adjustments that they've made. Watch for Malachi Moore. He's a freshman at Alabama, over 550 snaps this entire season, which is absolutely mind-blowing as just a freshman coming in and doing such a great job. A lot of people like to refer to him as kind of a mini Minka Fitzpatrick, which is quite the compliment considering that he won the Thorpe Award. Alabama's coming in 31 points. I know it's a large margin, but this Crimson Tide team is just that good.
This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. It's presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sonata. SUVs like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Swing by and say hey to our buddy Barry Buckner. He's in there as well, and we appreciate their support of our show. Kyle, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
You know what? We are, we're obviously going to take care of Arkansas versus Alabama. There's going to be plenty of coverage back on Bama Insider. You can, of course, join the post-game show. So right after the game ends tomorrow, join the post-game show. I'll be taking your calls, and we'll be dissecting Alabama versus Arkansas and start to turn the page to the SEC championship game. But we're also gearing everybody up for signing day, which will be next Wednesday. Alabama anticipating to sign 23 prospects from the class of 2021. Andrew Bone has had some fantastic coverage. So if you want to go to BamaInsider.com and read those premium articles and kind of get the latest scoop, go to BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Mick, you and Bone had a great interview just recently talking about the kind of the fallout of LSU and how that could impact Alabama. Alabama certainly has their eyes on the number one player in the entire country, Mason Smith, who's out of Louisiana. If somehow Alabama can bring in Mason Smith, that would mean that Alabama is able to land at the number one player in the country and the number two player in the country, as they already have JC Latham out of IMG. So this recruiting class is something that, hasn't been, it's always tops at Alabama, but this recruiting class is very, very special, currently ranked number one in the class of 2021 on rivals.com.
All right, Kyle, 32-point favorites, Alabama over Arkansas. Give me your score.
In a game like this, in a morning game, I think that Alabama still comes out and, they're going to be dialed in, and I think they'll be laser focused, as I continue to say. I'll take Alabama 49, and I will take Arkansas. Let's give them, 9 points.
I think Alabama's a wrecking ball, and Arkansas is just in the way. And, as they get ready for Florida, there's just too much power for Alabama. Arkansas is an improved team. They had a good season. They won 3. They're not going to beat Alabama. They're not going to be in this game. I think they're going to be close to that spread, though, because if I'm Nick Saban, I'm going to put in a lot of these other guys like Bryce Young and let them get a chance to cut their teeth in a game like this. I'm going to say Arkansas covers, but I'm going to say it's close, like Alabama by 28 over Arkansas, and then that sets them up for a game against Florida next week for the SEC championship game. All right, don't forget, Kyle Henderson will be on the Bama Insider YouTube channel after the game. Call in. Also, if you want to watch the game and hang out with Kyle, he's got the watch party, all that on the Bama YouTube channel. Next week, we're going to be in East Tennessee. We're going to be in the mountains. We're going to be in the Smoky Mountains. We're going to do the show live from Old Forge Distillery. That's some of the greatest moonshine in the Volunteer State. We're going to hang out there and do the show there next Friday. If you're in the area, come by and say hey to us, Patriot Park. We'll be on the YouTube channel again, 6 to 8 Central, 7 to 9 Eastern time. And then, of course, you can listen to the show from 9 to 11 on Jocks 2 Radio. I want to thank everyone at the Floor Bama for making this possible. Back-to-back weeks here. It wasn't planned that way, but because of COVID, we were here back-to-back weeks. Jennifer, John McKinnis, all the people that are part of it. This has been an awesome experience. I love this place. I'm telling you guys, come down, hang out, get the oysters, the bushwhackers, have a Yingling, chill, the beach, all that stuff, live music. It does not get better than the Floor Bama. Special thanks to Yingling Lager, America's oldest brewery, Pearl River Resort, and the Timeout Sports Lounge, Rounders, Tuscaloosa Hyundai, R&R Cigar, Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports, Bama Buggies, Allstate agent Andrew Kniffer, Innisfree, Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, Sevierville, Tennessee, Hotel Indigo, the Floor Bama. I'm Mick Gillespie for Trey Yanity and Kyle Henderson, Andrew Bone, and our entire crew. Roll Tide, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
The Floribama Beach Bar is open at full capacity with no COVID restrictions. It's time to slip on back to Orange Beach for multiple stages of live music daily, free bingo Monday through Friday, and football watching all season long on tons of TVs. There's never been a better time to enjoy sunsets from the beachfront bars with a famous bushwhacker. Floribama is one of the top beach bars in the world, and under Florida guidelines has no COVID restrictions. Planning on a bachelor or bachelorette party? Then come do it on the line. Find out more at floribama.com. Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, that was awesome.